Okay, so if you're watching this video, then you are wanting to do the practice problems for the quiz. I'd recommend that if you're going to do this by yourself, that you definitely watch the video. If you're going to do this in groups, feel free to just work through those independently. In your groups, you should have a notebook out or a piece of paper or something so you can practice these problems. Before we get to it, though, let's make sure we remember our integer rules, right? Our add, wrap, right? Same sign, add. Different sign, subtract. We keep the sign of the bigger one so you can be exact. What? Now that's only for adding. Now subtraction, the goal of subtraction is to change it to addition. We do that by change the sign, or using the circle method to make a list of numbers. Then you do the add wrap. All right, the multiplication melody is same sign positive, different sign negative. All right, so we spent a minute reviewing. Now let's just get right into the problems. I'd recommend after you see each problem that you, well, that's an annoying sound. That I'd recommend after you see each problem that you wait, pause the video, and then try it, and then start again. So I'd pause the video now. Okay, so when we look at this one, we've got same sign positive, different sign negative. So we know our answer is going to be negative. And 36 divided by 4 is 9, so our answer is going to be -9. Okay, next one. Sorry about the sounds, guys. That's just sort of how it goes. Notice same sign positive, different sign negative. So we've got positive is our answer. Our answer is going to be positive. 8 times 7 is 56. All right, so remember, don't forget, pause the video after each one so we can go over it together. After you pause the video, try the problem. That'll be the process for each one of these. All right, so we know it's same sign positive, different sign negative. So our answer is going to be negative. And now we're going to have to probably do some column multiplication on this one. So that's what I'm going to do. 14 times 21. 1 times 4 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Oops, I'm sorry, that's not true. 1 times 4 is not 5. 1 times 4 is 4. And then don't forget that placeholder 0, right? 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. So now we add those two together. We get 4, 9, 2. And of course, our answer is going to be negative. All right. Next one, don't forget to pause the problem. Don't forget to pause it each time. So when we look at this, right, remember we can't do 3 in a row. So we have to do 2 at a time. So same sign, positive 16 times -4. Different sign, so our negative. And 4 times 16 is 64. So our answer is going to be -64. All right, next one here. Careful, this is an exponent problem, so we got to make sure that the exponent is only glued to what it's touching. So make sure you decide, tell the people you're working with, if it's yourself or somebody else, tell the people what the exponent is glued to. All right, let's rewrite this in expanded form. That's going to be -8 times 8. Because the negative is not being repeated. The negative is not what the exponent is glued to. All right, so now we take a look. 8 times 8 is 64 with a negative in front of it. So our answer is going to be -64. All right, another one just like it. Make sure you pause and decide what the exponent is glued to. So that exponent is glued to the parentheses, so you should repeat those parentheses 3 times because there's an exponent of 3. So -3, -3, and -3. And just like the last one that we did with the -4s, we have to do same sign positive, different sign -27. All right, another exponent one. I bet you can do this one in your head. But if you can't, that's okay. We write it in expanded form. Notice it's glued to the parentheses. So 9 times 9 is 81. Same sign, positive. This kind of looks like a face, doesn't it? Yeah, totally. So we get 81. All right, moving on to some fractions. Notice this is not a subtraction problem. These parentheses right here, these parentheses, tell us that this is multiplication. Also, the word product helps us know. All right, so let's go ahead and do this problem. When we multiply fractions, we look to cross cancel. Anything we can do? No. So we just multiply straight across. Of course, the sign of our answer is going to be negative because same sign positive, different sign negative. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 7 is 35. So our answer is negative 2 over 35. All right, we got a couple of problems here. We'll stay on this slide for a few minutes. Notice when A is negative 2, B is 3, and C is negative 8. So we plug in with parentheses. A is negative 2, B is 3. Negative 2 times 3 is 6. Same sign, positive, different sign, negative 6. Notice the absolute values here. It's going to be very important for us. We always plug in with parentheses. Notice how important it is to plug in with parentheses on number 2. If we didn't plug in with parentheses, we'd mess up with our signs. The exponent would be glued to the 2, not to the parentheses. So we simplify this. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 8. All of that's inside the absolute value. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 times negative 8. 4 times 8 is 32, so negative 32. And the absolute value of negative 32 is 32. All right, last one. Here we go. Plug in with parentheses. It's important. All right, and then negative 2, negative 8. Now you might be tempted right here to do negative ninja. You can, but it's not going to be in your best interest. Let's just hold off on the subtraction sign before we simplify. So negative 2 times 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 again is 27 minus negative 2 times negative 8. Negative 2 times 27 is negative 54 minus negative 2 times negative 8, same sign, positive, would be 16. And now I'm going to use the circle method to make this a little bit easier to see. Notice this is same sign, add, different sign, subtract. We keep the sign of the bigger one so you can be exact. So we're going to add these two together and we get 54 plus 16 is 70. Keep the sign of the bigger one, negative 70. All right, there we go. All right, so this was actually the answer to the previous problem. I apologize that it went out of order. All right, let's keep going. Pause the video as needed. Let's look to see if we can cross cancel. Can we? Not here, but here we can. A common factor. 4 goes into 4 one time, and 4 goes into 12 3 times. Now we multiply straight across. 1 times 7 is 7. 5 times 3 is 15. But notice same sign, positive, different sign, negative 7 over 15. All right. Keep it going. Now this is a multiplication problem between fractions. The unfortunate part is I cannot multiply a mixed number times a fraction. I have to convert these. So when I multiply, I don't need common denominators. What I do need is fractions. So we can use our multiplication method. Take the denominator times the whole number. That's 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So it's times negative 5 over 3. All right, so that part's done. So now we just look to cross cancel if we can. 5 and 10 have a common factor of 5. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 10 two times. Common factor between 9 and 3 is 3. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And now we can just multiply straight across. All right, so 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. Notice same sign, positive. And we can simplify that down to 3 over 2 and 1 1/2. Okay, let's keep it going. Don't forget to pause the video as needed to work through the problem before you watch me do it. All right, so we need to make sure that these, because we're finding the product, we need to make sure that these are fractions. So 5 times 1 plus 3. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8 fifths, times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5 halves. Don't forget that negative sign, right? This one right here. That's times negative 2 and 1 1/2. One thing that might make it easier to see, you put that in parentheses. There we go. All right, now we can see for common factors, yes, 8 and 2, common factor of 2. 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 8 4 times. 5 and 5. 5 and 5 become 1 and 1. And now let's multiply across. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. So we get negative 4 over 1, which simplifies to negative 4. All right, let's get ready for some division stuff. Find the reciprocal of this. Remember, reciprocal is like saying the reciprocal. So we just need to flip this. No signs, just keep change, flip. The reciprocal of 5/14 is 14/5. All right, let's find the reciprocal of this one. Careful, what do we flip? Well, we have to change it to a fraction. And any whole number can be written as a fraction over 1. So we flip that and it becomes 1 over 18. Let's find the reciprocal here. Careful, we need to write it as a fraction before we can flip it. The reciprocal is not 3 5/3. Not that. All right, so we need to convert it to a fraction first. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18/5. So the reciprocal of that would be 5 over 18. Now, why do we need that? Because we need to be able to find the quotient. That's division. All right, so notice this one looks a little funky, but it's still just division. Remember what a fraction is? A fraction is a division problem. So let's rewrite this a little bit more friendly for us. Negative 4 over 5 divided by 1/3. Now let's not forget, we don't like division with fractions. We like multiplication. So I need to keep, change, flip. Right? Kentucky chicken fry. Division on a Friday night. Flipping fractions feels so right. Change to multiplication. Now this one isn't going to simplify at all because there's no cross canceling. So 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 1 is 5. And same sign positive, different sign negative. And that needs to simplify. 5 goes into 12 2 times with a remainder of 2. All right, let's keep it going. Pause the video as needed to try these problems. All right, let's get red. Quotient, same deal. We need to convert to fractions. We don't need common denominators, but we do need fractions. So 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25/3, divided by 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5/2. Now, same deal as last time. Kentucky chicken fry. Division on a Friday night. Flipping fractions feels so right. Change to multiplication. And here we can cross cancel a little bit. 25 and 5 share a common factor of 5. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 25 5 times. Multiply straight across. 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 1 is 3. So 10/3 simplifies. 3 goes into 10 3 times with a remainder of 1. All right, let's keep it going. I only have about 2 minutes left on this video, so I'm going to go a little faster. All right, so notice the structure here. I need fractions, right? So all I got to do is this. Now I'm going to keep, change, flip again. We know the sign of our answer is going to be positive because these are same sign positive. So 16 over 1 times 3 over 2. We know our sign is going to be positive. All right, 16 and 2 share a common factor of 2. 8 times 3 is 24 over 1, which simplifies to 24. All right, next one. Here we go. We need to convert this to fractions. So 4 times 10 is 40, plus 3 is 43 over 4. And this is divided by 43 over 1. Now, I bet you can kind of tell where this is going. We're going to keep, change, flip. We get 43 over 4 times 1 over 43. Now notice the 43's cancel, and I'm left with 1/4. Okay, I'm going to skip past this next one to do this problem. So notice order of operations are important. Parentheses happen first. Parentheses happen first. So notice the 2 times 3 is 6, plus negative 7, minus 5, 3 on the front, 12. Notice combining the inside. So 3 times negative 1 minus 5 plus 12. Now it's multiplication. So 12 plus negative 3 minus 5. And now 12 plus negative 3 is 9 minus 5, which equals 4.